going on, Vol fans? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? You got the champ, Billy Ratliff, and the inventor of the Icky Shuffle, Bobby C. How you doing, Billy? This is a Sunday after a win. That's why we play in Rocky Top.
Sunday after win, man. Love wins, man. Wins is what I love to hear, and the fresh smell of victory.
Is that what that smell is?
That's what it is, Bobby.
I thought that was the Popeye's chicken Crystal was supposed to go get.
Man, hey, I wish it was. That's why I wish I can get some Popeyes, but hey, I'ma love these W's first.
Hey, have you tried their chicken sandwich?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh man, they got a great chicken sandwich. Great chicken sandwich. Only thing better than their chicken sandwich, they're kind of spicy. We'd need to call Blue Water Climate Control if we had one of their spicy chicken sandwiches. But they got good flavor though. Good flavor. Anyway, I tell you what, we had a great time at Tennessee Tap House yesterday on Peters Road in Knoxville. We hope to see a lot of you guys out there this Saturday, because we're going to be throwing a party. We're going to be partying like it's 1999, about 7 o'clock tomorrow night, ain't we, Billy?
Man, I can't wait, man. That's what I love about winning, Bobby.
We're gonna be 3-0. Can you believe we're gonna be 3-0 tomorrow, next Saturday?
I actually think we're gonna be 3-0, Bobby.
We're gonna be 3-0. I know I got a lot of Georgia fans that watch me, but I hate to tell you, just don't be surprised if the Big Orange come away with a big old fat W. Man, wouldn't you like to see Uncle Lou's meltdown video after that? He'll break 2 TVs if we win next Saturday. But come on out to the Tennessee Tap House, Peters Road, see us. Billy will be out there, myself, a bunch of other guys. We've even had a few Georgia fans said if they can't get tickets to the game next Saturday, they might come up there. But I got a bone to pick with Georgia. There's supposed to be 25,000 people at the stadium. They were cheating last night. There was way more than 25,000 people there.
Oh, was it? I didn't notice.
Oh, yeah, there's 50,000 people there. And you know they're going to cheat against us. You know they're going to sneak out and sell a bunch of tickets. There'll be 80,000 people there. 80, and then when Tennessee fans want some tickets, COVID, we can't sell y'all tickets. I know what they're trying to do. Hey, we might be able to beat Georgia and the rest, but you can't beat the crowd. That's just not fair. Not fair. And they'll probably be piping in noise. You know they're going to be piping in noise.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Of course, we'd probably do that too. Anyway, I don't mind them piping in noise. Do you? No, I think it's fair because you got to have that home field advantage somehow. It's like watching the NBA games. They barely got any noise there. I don't know. They need to crank up the noise and make it seem like a real game instead of some preseason pickup game. Anyway, let's get into some of the game from yesterday. I was really excited. We both looked like geniuses about JG. Everybody was ready to kick him down the road this time last week, but he wasn't great. But he did what we needed to do to win. He was 14-23, only 190 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. He hasn't thrown a pick all year.
Not yet, man. He's doing what he's supposed to do, man. He's protect the ball and manage the game the way he did yesterday, man. You know, I love what he's doing. He's doing exactly what I thought he would do. You know, the kid, he's tucking it and running it when he's not.
Yeah.
You know, I know he's still like he's holding it longer, but he's still going through his progressions. I mean, that's what I like about it. I mean, he's growing. He's getting better. You know, and also as a team offense, they was better on 3rd down conversion, and they was 100% on 4th down conversions.
Yeah, I thought he'd have a little bit better game than what he did, but you don't need a bunch of stats when you've got Eric Gray and Ty Chandler putting up 105 and 90 respectfully on the ground.
And that's what it takes, though. You know, that's what every offensive coordinator would like to see. They would like to see their run game better than their pass game. Because you don't, you know, you can protect the ball a little bit better when you're running it with the running back, and you take a chance of fumbling as a receiver or as a quarterback. So I'd rather hand it off than throw it anyway.
And we kind of got a little disagreement at the breakfast table this morning because I was raving and carrying on. I was just excited about our O-line. They were bulldozing pretty much all game long. That's the first time in a few years that I've seen an offensive line just bully a defensive line. I mean, just flat out bully him almost the whole entire game. And that gave him that extra half a second. And I think that's what JG needed.
I mean, he needs that. That's we need that as a team overall. It's just rare that I hear people talking about the offensive line as being the most important piece when it comes to us winning games. And I've always been. I'm the one that says it. If we're not good up front, we're not going to be able to win ball games. And we've finally got an offensive line that we've put together and we're recruited well. And now these kids are starting to mend together. And once they get another game in, especially with this game coming up, when they get this win behind them, you're talking about the confidence they would have and knowing what it takes to compete in the SEC.
Well, let's go over some of the stats. I kind of went over them already with JG. And there wasn't a lot of difference between Bazalek for Missouri. He was 13 to 21. JG was 14 to 23. But he had 218 yards, just a few yards more than JG. But the difference was he had 0 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Which is huge.
Huge. And he didn't have the run support that we have to bail him out. Josh Palmer looked good. He had 4 catches, 71 yards. Jalen Hyatt, 2 for 54. And I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a household name here, if not by the end of the season next year. Velas Jones Jr. He only had 1 catch for 22 yards, but the last game against South Carolina, he had some big catches. And I think he's going to be a great wide receiver. But here's the bad news. Our defensive line sucked yesterday. There was a couple of times we had them 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 20, and I said on our stream, I said the most Tennessee thing that we could do is they let them convert, and by God, that's what they did. I mean, we'd hold them for 1-2 yards on 1st and 2nd down, and 3rd down. I don't know if it was the scheme or what we were doing, but we were giving up yards on 3rd down. What is going on? I mean, you're a D tackle. What is wrong with our D? Is it our D line that's the weak link on that defense, or just the whole unit?
Well, Bobby, you got to understand this here, man. The part that I keep telling people that you got to understand that the offense is trying to get 23 yards. The defense is hoping they stop them from getting that. The offense has the advantage of getting these yards, and just because the defense don't stop them at that particular time doesn't mean that they're sorry, they're not good or anything like that. It's just the play that they lost. And they done what you're supposed to do. Move on to the next play and hope to stop them in the end, because one play don't make the whole game. So you got to not worry about the big plays they give. We had to limit.
But it wasn't one play, Billy. It seemed like the whole game, our defensive line.
If it was put it like this, Bobby. If it was the whole game, we would have lost the whole game. We won the game.
Well, all right.
You got to look at it that way. How many touchdowns?
We've had 1 sack. DeAndre Johnson had our lone only sack yesterday.
And we still pressured the kid too now, Bobby. I mean, just because we didn't get a sack doesn't mean we didn't do a good job as a defensive player.
Our leading tackler, Trayvon Flowers, only had 5 tackles. Our leading tackler had 5 tackles.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
You know why that's a good thing?
Tell me.
Because we're not on the field that much as a defense.
Okay.
I'd rather have the kids with 7-8 tackles being the leading tackler than to have a team that has 25 tackles a game.
All right. This is something I want you to bring up that I've heard Fred White, Deuce, has been on the show a bunch, say, and also Eric Westmoreland said this last year, that you don't want your linebackers and safeties having a bunch of tackles.
Exactly.
Explain what he meant by you don't want your linebackers to have 100 tackles. Because Georgia had one a year or two ago, had like 120 tackles. They were raving about it. But what does that mean to you and Fred when you got a linebacker with a whole bunch of tackles.
I mean, your defensive front is not doing their job. The defensive front is who has to be the guys that's creating havoc for the offensive line. It makes it easier for the linebackers and the DBs if our front four is creating havoc. We're getting in the backfield, creating what's called tackle for losses or anything like that, or deflections or batted balls down like that. It makes it easier for the linebackers and the DBs. I'm looking up at the stats right now, and I'm seeing 5 tackles for loss. You got to look at those as sacks.
Okay, I give you
got to
that.
think about what are sacks. They're tackles for loss.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that negative yardage, that makes the defense still looks good.
All right.
So T4Ls are just like sacks to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see what you're saying, and I remember it was brought up last year that you were a part of the winningest teams in modern history at Tennessee. You and Fred White both, and the leading tackler, and all the years that you and Fred were there, was Raynott Thompson with 65 tackles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because y'all had a defensive line. Y'all had defensive tackles. Y'all were 3 and 4 deep at D tackle.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, we wanted to make plays too, though. But most of the guys that I played with on D line, we were linebackers as well. So all of us, we are used to making plays. And me personally, we wasn't blocking dummies. We wasn't guys that's up front that's taking on blocks to make our linebackers make plays. We were the guys that was making the plays, telling our linebackers, "Hey, good luck.
Yeah.
You might get a tackle this game." And our linebackers would love that. I will tell you this to this day. I am thankful for the D line that we had because they made my job that much more easier.
Yeah.
That's the key. Once our D line figure it out up front, learn how to get off blocks. And the one thing I do say now, I did see them do yesterday, Bobby, and I love it. I'm seeing 11 Tennessee players run to the ball.
That's true. And Henry, To'o, however you say his name, you think I'd get it right by now. I've heard so many different pronunciations it gets me mixed up. He balled out yesterday. And what'd you think about Jeremy Banks? He wasn't really active in the stats. He had 1 tackle.
Well, yeah, I saw him flying around to the ball, man. He was creating havoc too. I mean, the tackles may not show it on the field, but what I saw him doing was he's running to the ball. He's getting to the ball. He's got that, that pursuit in case, they did break away. He was still down the field. He may not have like solo tackles, but I guarantee he had a whole bunch of assisted tackles.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing we're doing better this year than we've done in a decade.
In a long time.
Tackle. First and second guy hitting them, bringing them down. Last year, we would have 2 or 3 guys go after him and still couldn't get him down. This year, we are tackling. And that gets me excited. Yeah, we got a big-time game next Saturday, big-time game. And I know Catfish is going to be flapping his gums how we're going to win by 20. But here's the truth. Georgia's better than we are all the way around. But I tell you what, we can win that game. We're better than people think that we are. And I think we're going to it's going to be a great game.
It will be. I really do.
I think we've got a better quarterback than they've got. But Bennett looked pretty good. I mean, he looked like Jake from last year, just a manager. That's what JG is. He's nothing great. And they got a couple of good running backs, actually really good running backs, Amir White and Cook. And they've got a great defense. Man, it's going to be a tough out. But this will be the first time in a couple of years that we really have some real confidence, not fandom, but real confidence as a team. I'm talking about the boys in the locker room, that I think we're just better prepared than we've been in a while for these big games. And I think it's going to make a difference.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you this, Bobby. I think that the guys have always been prepared. What I say is I think the kids they finally have what it takes to compete. And what I'm trying to say is they have the size and the speed to compete in the SEC finally. Mm-hmm. That's just something that Coach Pruitt has preached and preached and preached. I remember when he first got over there and we had like an VFL event, and he spoke to us, and he straight told us the truth. He's like, guys, hey, we're not good. We are not good, and that's what he said. I mean, we don't have enough kids that I think personally what it takes to compete in the SEC. But he said this. He said, we will get the guys. And they're starting to come in. You know, and I told you this here, Bobby. I said, it's going to take him at least 2 of his legit recruiting classes to get to where we are competing in the SEC East every single year. And so far, he's got his second one that he's gotten.
Yeah.
He's been 3, but the first one I don't count it because he came in in a time where he was still getting butch recruits. He was savaging the recruits that we had to offer back then. So I still think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to compete with Georgia. We will not look like we used to look, where it's automatically, if we go down 14, I still see where we can get back into the game. Back last year, if we got down 14 to any school, I couldn't say that, hey, we can dig down deep and have a chance to come back and win. This year, I think we finally have the kids that realize what it takes to win. When they're down, they compete to get back into the game.
Well, you know, on YouTube, so we've got a lot of Georgia fans, good friends of mine that watch us. And I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at the camera, kind of like Joe Biden did in a debate. This is the first time in a couple years, Killer Mime and Slim Mosley and SEC Dog, that you coming into a Tennessee game with a little bit of worry. I know it. You ain't got to admit it. I know that y'all got a little bit of nervousness about this Saturday. You're like, oh, I'm just telling you, you're nervous. And I'm really confident that we're going to show up. We may not win. I think we're going to win because that's what I'm supposed to do. But you're definitely going to know we've been there. It's going to be a ball game. A ball game. That's all I got to say. I'm going to be cranking out some. Catfish is going to get his camera phone out tomorrow, the next day, and I'm going to give it to you. He's going to be flapping his gums on that camera. You wait. I got a couple ideas, a couple skits, and Billy's challenged me. You want me to tell him, or you want to tell him what you challenged me to?
I'll let you tell it because the challenge has already been won before it started.
It ain't no.
You know, I've always told people when you compete against me, you have to expect to lose.
Hey,
and that is a fact.
But I can dig down deep when there's nothing left in the tank. All right, I'll tell you. He challenged me to a weight loss competition. He's got me by 10 pounds. But we're not going to go by percentage. We're going to go see who loses 20 pounds first. And we're going to put it on. We're going to videotape all this.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
we're going to
our weekly ritual, our exercise program, our food. It's going to be great cinematic entertainment. I promise you that. But back to digging down deep, man. There's been times when I've been on the truck back when I used to drive a truck, where I'd have to do 700-800 miles in a shift. Let's just listen to me. And I'm 5 hours into an 11-hour shift, and I'm dragging, tired. Like, man, I've got 500 more miles to go. There's no way I can do another 100. But Catfish would dig down deep. He'd get the toothpicks out. He'd slap himself in the face. He'd do whatever it took, and he'd make it to the end of his shift where he needed to be. Mm-hmm. When nobody else could, I was sleepy. I drove when I shouldn't have been. So I'm a competitor. I was competing against myself. So you got your work cut out. Now you done got me riled up. Disrespecting me on Volunteer Roadshow. You acting like it's not even a competition.
Bobby, I'm gonna tell you this here, man. You know, you don't have to just ask me. I'm not gonna be the one. I'm not even gonna brag on myself. I'm just gonna tell the truth. If I'm in the game, the chances of me winning is 100.
That's on the football field.
And 3%.
That's on the football field. That's not in a weight loss competition with Catfish.
Well, that's even easier, though. That's even easier, Bobby. And I put it like this, and I'm going to eat way more than you.
Well, it's like Jeff Hall said, You can't outwork your diet. And this is our last day, folks, of eating whatever we want. This is Sunday, about 3 o'clock. We're going to eat like kings today. And the competition starts as soon as we put the last bite of food in our mouth tonight. Catfish is going on a diet. I'm going to start working out.
Hey, I hope you do well. You know, I'm going to keep you on point. I'm going to motivate you. But I just hope that you throw those little Debbie cakes from up under the bed.
You know about them little Debbie cakes? Well, I got to get them eaten today, then, is what you're saying. You can't beat an oatmeal cream pie. Why can't they make an oatmeal cream pie without carbs that tastes like an oatmeal cream pie?
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to see this,
double-decker.
Man. This is going to be awesome, guys. I can't wait to get this started, man. Because, as a matter of fact, I hope everybody else out there could join in as well and send some results when we get this started. Because I'm going to post first thing in the morning. I'm going to post what I weigh in the morning.
I think what we need to do is we need people to put in the comments right now who you think is going to win. Now, listen. Don't forget, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm like Rocky Balboa. I'm a fighter. I'm an underdog, and I'm a fighter. So put in the comments who you think is going to win the weight loss competition. And then whoever wins gets to pick among those that pick them to give them away something from our Volunteer Roadshow store on volunteerroadshow.com. Does that sound like a good deal?
Sounds great, man.
Pick Catfish if you want something. That's what I do. Well, anyway. Y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. I'm going to tell you something. I'm a fighter. Catfish is going to put it on Billy. I'm going to put it on Billy. He's going to be really surprised when I look like, I was going to say Sean Johnson, but he done gained a few pounds. Who was skinny on your team? Terry Fair. I'm going to be looking like Terry Fair except the albino version of Terry Fair. I'm gonna be. He was looking good last time we saw him. Nice. And so did Jerry. I don't know. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to have some abs. I promise you that.